Y'all excited?
You come over here. Hey, call me Ftr Aew. Congratulations, first of all. So you're holding the IWGP belts. Are you going to defend them, and are you willing to defend them overseas?
No, we're not going to defend them. We're going to lose our smile.
Yeah, the whole dream for us was to come to do AEW, to do New Japan, to be AEW champions, to be IWGP heavyweight tag team champions. And the pandemic kind of, slowed that down for a while. And now things are opening back up. We're getting back out here. Travel is becoming way more easy and accessible for everybody. And yeah, we'll go kick some ass in New Japan.
I think ultimately, the reason we came here is because we fucking love wrestling. I mean, I've said it a million times before, but what I perceive to be God and my wife and daughter and professional wrestling, that's all I've got in my life. And so for me to be able to write down beside my best friend, for me to be able to write our names beside the greatest tag teams of all time in American history, like the Arns and Tullys and the Midnight Expresses and the Hart Foundation, the Bulldogs. Now we get to go to Japan and write our names beside the guys like Bigelow and Vader and Hase and Muda and the Steiner brothers, and to be able to do that around the globe, that's pretty cool, and that's what we want to do in life and in wrestling too.
Hey guys, Rich Fan Pro Wrestling Torch. My question is, you both have spoken publicly of the struggles it took to get to this point, and you seem to be missing one set of tag titles. So first, how does it feel to be where you are now in your journey? And second, when are you going to start to make that approach with the AEW tag?
So as we walk up here, you see we're not the prototypical professional wrestlers. We're barely scratching the surface at 5'10". We don't have the greatest bodies in the world. I have a completely authentic Southern accent, and so we're fighting every single obstacle in the realm of what we perceive to be mainstream professional wrestling. And so for us to be able to overcome every single obstacle and be able to be in this position where we're at right now in AEW, to hold these 3 championships and to possibly be able to fight for the AEW World Tag Team Championships, there's nothing better than that. So we're proud, very proud of where we come from. And I think sometimes fans, some of the fans, not all of them, not even most of them, but some of the fans can say, oh, you should just sit back and collect your checks and not stop complaining. But if I stop complaining, man, I can't go home to my 8-year-old daughter and say you can be whatever you want. I can't go home to my 8-year-old daughter and say you can be the first woman president. You know what I mean? Because if I sit back and just collect a check, then I'm lying to her. Because I'm working hard for her, so she knows that when Daddy leaves every single week, he's going to work so he can take care of Mama and her. You know what I mean? And I've overcome those obstacles to show her that if I can make it here, but then fucking hell, man, she can do whatever she wants. Because she's way smarter than me, she's way nicer than me, she's way prettier than me, she's so much of a better person than I am. And now I'm able to do this with my best friend and listen, I've worked and I'm not even kidding, this is a complete shoot. I have worked on a septic tank truck where I have human shit every single day. I have worked at Taco Bell where I have put almost human shit on tortillas and served them every single day. I've done every single job possible because I grew up poor, and I've worked for every single person in the world. And I'm not even saying this because sometimes we have our differences. I've never worked for a better human being who cares about me and my family as people than this man. And so now I get to do that here, and on top of that, take care of my wife, and on top of that, get to take care of my daughter, and on top of that, get to say, hey, you are a woman and you can do whatever the hell you want to do because Daddy's doing it and you're way better than I am. Fuck, man, that's the ultimate for me,
Yeah, we've both been doing this over half of our lives at this point. And for the past 8 years, I didn't know where it was going to go, but we've said to anybody that would listen that we were going to be the best tag team that's ever done this. And for a long time, people laughed at us and thought that we were just these overconfident, undersized, non-bodybuilders that had this inflated ego, and it wasn't. We just wanted to manifest something. We wanted people to believe what we believe. And if I didn't believe the shit that we said, then I never would have made it here. And I don't just say that wrestling gave us the life that we have, it saved my life. And I'll say that every single day. Like, I came from absolute shit. Like, if it wasn't for this, I don't know where I would be, but I know it wouldn't be good. And so to have these, to have this, to be the longest reigning number one contenders in AEW Tag Team Championship history, that means a lot to me.
You're not from him. Say that.
I said it means a lot to me. But yeah, we've already been AEW Tag Team Champions once, and we just got a little small taste of that, and I don't like not having what I perceive to be an FTR run. And when we come out here and we win the AEW Tag Team titles, and we will win them, and we go on a 2-year run and then we lose our smiles and retire, then we'll say, yeah, we've done it. We're the best to ever do it.
Just kidding, Brett.
I'm not.
Got a question. Just looked at from the Zone News. In recent weeks, we've seen outstanding singles matches from the both of you, really good matches. Is that a leaf look into both of your guys' futures, away from all your tag team achievements? It's something you'd both like to do?
I won't speak for Dax, but for me, I think we're just really good wrestlers in general, singles or tag, and it's, we're unbiased, great professional wrestlers. Dax has always been one of these guys that has slept, and breathed professional wrestling to a point that it can be unhealthy at times. But like I said, we work for a guy who lets us be human, lets us be assholes, lets us have our bad days. But at the end of those days, we get to come out here, and whether it's singles, whether it's tag, we get to put on the best version of what we do. And I think that just elevates us completely in everybody's eyes. And I don't want to be a tag team guy or a singles guy. I always want to be a tag team guy. But if we do singles matches, we're going to kill it. If we do tag team matches, we're going to kill it. If you do anything, we're going to kill it.
So as a kid, a little kid. June 13th, maybe it was 23rd. 1993 is when I decided I wanted to be a professional wrestler. And I remember praying every single night that God would either allow me to be a WCW, an ECW, or the other place heavyweight champion. I remember walking to my friend's house, and there were these long stretch of bushes, and I would fake like I was tagging their hands, and I was hoping. I was like, I hope all these leaves become my fans. Okay, that's what I wanted. That's all I've ever wanted, was to be the best possible professional wrestler in the world. Right now, I want to be the best in the world. And when I retire, I want people to say he was the best ever. But if they don't, that's okay, because at least I tried. At least that's what I strived for, and that's what I tried to make happen. As far as the singles matches, I'm just very fortunate that Tony has trusted both of us into having that, and to being able to deliver those matches. But we're on the back end of our career, and we've built a legacy, and we're continuing to build a legacy in tag team wrestling. So why would I start over now as a singles wrestler and build from that? If the opportunity comes up and he gets injured or something, then yeah, I got to feed my family, so I'll do it. But ultimately, I just want to do good for professional wrestling, and I think doing good for professional wrestling right now is to continue to write our legacy.
Dave, how do you remember that date, June 13th, June 23rd? What's that date?
It's
King of the Ring 1993?
King of the Ring
Oh, yeah.
1993.
Okay, that's great.
There was a guy that
The Nutter Center.
had
The
3
Nutter
matches
Center,
that night and won
yep.
the inaugural King of the Ring, but I can't remember his name right now.
That's great. That's what it is. That's great.
Will Washington, Fightful.
Rhapsody?
Yes. Good. So, the last couple of weeks, this past Wednesday and tonight, you guys have received some of what I call the biggest pop you guys have ever had. And a big factor in that is, of course, you guys being one of the best tag teams out there. But,
Rewind. Don't say one of them. Come on.
It's
At least lie to us. We're right here in front of you.
Okay.
Jeez.
But another
You're
factor
pressed,
in
lie.
that has been the change in theme music, which I think last fall a lot of people were a little bit skeptical of, but I would say today, across the board, people have called one of the best themes out there. I've been in crowds where I've seen people go nuts over it, dancing in the stands. How do you guys feel like the affected your guys' presentation and you guys love it.
Yeah, the only person we got to thank for that is Tony. I mean, that was his call, and he called us in his office, and he was so excited, man. He was like, "You guys have to listen to this," and we listened to it. And I can't lie to you. At first, I was like, "Oh my God, that's not what we're used to." You know, we're used to being these badass guys who like come out and fight and stuff. But that, God, it sounds like I'm kissing his butt. And I promise I'm not.
This is the most that you've ever done it. Trust me.
To your face, at least. To your face. But that's the thing is like, what they don't understand, what no one understands is, God dang, like the word genius gets thrown around, but he really is freaking smart when it comes to wrestling. I mean, in life in general, he's smart. But like,
the first part means more coming from you. That means a lot coming from you, especially considering who I pulled the music from. He probably wouldn't be the first to say.
Well, no.
But I grew up on him.
This is gimmick. But he really is, man. Like I can think of tackle, drop down, leapfrog, and lock up and stuff like that. But he can think broader than that. And sometimes it makes me mad, you know, because I'm like, oh my God, I'm supposed to be the smart, the professional.
Smart as hell.
Well, thank you. I'm supposed to be the professional. But then he takes it to another level. And so he played this music for us, and he was so hyped. And it was cool music, and I was like, I don't know if that's us. I'll be damned if it's not us. And that, yeah, you're right. That has helped our I think like our rainbow attire and like what we want to present out there. I think his mullet and my mustache, and I also think the style of wrestling we bring to. I think it all just came together at once, and the universe provided it for us, and I think it's manifested itself into making us some pretty good baby faces.
I think 99% of it's just the two of you guys, and less than 1% of it is that, and another piece of it that is, 99% of it is down to the two of you, but one person, he's not here tonight, but I've seen you become a more confident and better wrestler since CM Punk walked through that door. I've seen you both take it to another level as his partner and backstage and talking to him, and I've watched you get more switched on, and I've watched you take it from being one of the best wrestlers in the world to true, like on from the highest platform to somehow an even higher platform, and the two of you guys have taken it to another level. And particularly, I've watched you get mentally switched on in a totally different way. And Dan, you've always been there, and as a team, you've always been there. But now, you have a third guy with you, and it's really strong. It would have been a very different build to this pay-per-view. We still had one of the greatest things I've ever been a part of in my life. But I think, like I said, 99% of it's down to you guys, and then there's all these other factors, music, and I think Phil has been a very positive influence on both of you.
Yeah, I think just to kind of sum it all up is that there was nothing there wasn't a roadmap to how we were going to get here. We all just, Dave and I, Dax and I, David and I decided we wanted to just make as much fun as we could with the rest of what we're going to be doing, because we don't know how long we're going to be doing this. And that kind of started the snowball. And then just small things here and there, Punk's arrival, Tony having this idea to switch the music. And like, when I heard the music, I loved it, but I go straight to my mind and I'm like, how do I walk out to this? And I'm trying to picture it. I'm like, it's great music, but I don't know how to be this. But you don't have to now. Like, it's just kind of one of those things where you hit it, and like everybody's kind of moves however they feel individually, and like it's just been one of those things where everything just kind of fallen into place, and it's been so serendipitous that it's almost comical. But it has, like, it's peaked to right here. Like, this has kind of all just been one wild and crazy coincidence.
Dean drove me over here today, and while Dean and I were sitting in the car, I was sitting in shotgun, and I played it on my phone in the car with him, and I showed him a tweak I made, like, because if you the track, I think that's on iTunes, there's like a cut about 45 seconds in, because there's like Mikey had it go up. He put like a little interlude between the kind of what I call the hook, and like it kind of goes up and then it goes back down. And I was like, on TV, I don't have 4 seconds, Mikey. You got to go right back to it. And so the TV version, I think there's like a 4, but I love it so much. And it was just one of those things. One day I was just the light bulb, and I was like, this is what we need. This is what we need. Yep. The frogs. This is what the frogs.
Just real quick, when he called us into his office, like I said, I'd already heard it once because he hadn't made it there yet, and I loved it. But I'm trying to, like, again, all about visualization for me. Like, I'm a very visual guy, and so I have to like picture it, and I'm trying to picture it. And like he's playing it now, and Dave's in there, and Tony's just jamming the fuck out, dude. And it's like, okay, like, everybody's going to be doing this. So like, it just lets everybody just feel like Tony feels right now. Let's go and look at it. It's just been.
And then if
the
I
best
just
change possible.
one more minute, and then I know you guys.
We are good on time. We have time. These guys
I
will
fly
want
out
to
in 5 hours. We're good.
but I want to go off something Tony said about Punk being here and helping us out and helping us. So I've been very open about my mental struggles and my anxiety. Man, I went through a really tough time with anxiety just last year, almost to the day right now last year.
Yep.
And it almost completely broke me. And then on top of that,
When we went back on the road, you were having a tough time.
Tough time. Like I've never ever been that vulnerable and that scared in my entire life. And as a 37-year-old Southern male, that doesn't happen, and it did happen. And then
You
on
don't
top
talk
of that,
about it when it happens.
and on top of that, I almost watched my best friend bleed out, from his injury. And so those two things combined, we just knew, like he said, we had to have fun. But with Punk being here, I don't care what anyone says, and I don't care if you say he's a WWE guy or we're deviating away from AEW because he's here. He is here to make AEW better, and he's here to make us better. He has helped me through my anxiety, man, and that shows you the human being he is, because he'll take time for me to say, hey, dude, come with me, let's have some coffee or let's watch some wrestling, and he'll talk me through the stuff. And thank God, I've come out on the other side of anxiety, and I owe a lot of it. And I owe a lot of it to both these guys. This man gave me time off if I needed it, and this man talked to me every single day and almost fought people for me. But also on top of that, Punk is a great human being and a great addition to our roster, so we're lucky to have him. Sorry.
Here's the last question for FTR, then we'll wrap up for a few questions for Tony after FTR.
Thanks, Jim.
Hey guys, JD from the Office Script Podcast. I want to ask you guys about the Owen Hart match that you guys had, the foundation match. The preparation, what was the preparation for that match? How many Brett and Owen matches did you guys actually watch? And how did you decide on what you wanted to do as far as the sequences in that match? And Dax, this question's for you. A lot of online chatter about you possibly being Wrestler of the Year the way you've worked this year. How do you feel about
He is Wrestler of the Year. He is.
So I understand what you're getting to as far as the Brett and Owen matches. And I saw a couple of people tweet about it and say, "Oh man, they did a rehash." No, I have done a rehash for the last 18 years of my career of Bret Hart. You know what I'm saying? And so it's not. It wasn't that we tried to, because I saw the tweet and it was like
7 different matches.
It was literally 6 or 7 matches of Bret Hart, and they were like, "Oh, watch this and this." I took a front turnbuckle. And they were like, "Oh, that was just like the Owen and Brett match."
Brett took a German suplex before.
Oh yeah, he took a German suplex. No, it wasn't. I just love wrestling, man. God damn, I love. Sorry for saying GD in front of you. I love wrestling. I love it, and I watch it every single day. There's not a day that goes by I don't watch wrestling. So yeah, if I accidentally, subconsciously steal something from the match, damn, my bad. I apologize for being a wrestling fan above everything else. That's my fault. Okay, not anybody else's fault. But I didn't. The one thing we stole, I guess, from the Bret Owen match was the victory roll, because people thought that was going to be the finish, and we wanted to trick you guys, and that's it. Other than that, we just wanted to work. We didn't call anything. We went out there and we freaking worked, and we reacted off of each other. And that's what the beauty of professional wrestling is emotion and reaction and physicality and storytelling, and that's what we did. You know what I'm saying? I didn't sit down and watch one match and say, okay, we got to do this while, doing my little deal at home. Sorry, but so I'm doing my little deal at home. No, I just love wrestling, and I know what makes people feel, and that's all we wanted to do was make them feel. As far as being Wrestler of the Year, that's pretty freaking cool. It would be really crazy if somehow at the end of 2022 I became Wrestler of the Year. We became Tag Team of the Year, and we had Match of the Year with either the Briscoes or the Bucks. That would be pretty.
Or whoever's coming up in the next 6 months or so.
Yeah, that would be pretty freaking cool. Sorry to take all that time.
Anybody in wrestling worth their salt in the business that has studied it and wanted to be this for a long time and didn't just come from anywhere else to get paid, like they're influenced by somebody. And yes, we're influenced by the Harts, we're influenced by Eddie, we're influenced by the Midnights, we're influenced by Arn and Tully. We take bits from everybody. Everybody in wrestling today that's successful at a certain level has probably borrowed from somebody or been influenced by somebody, and you see that reflected in their work. Like, one or two things, yes, purposely taken from WrestleMania 10. Everything else just happenstance because these guys have helped shape our careers and our lives, and everything that we've done has been around professional wrestling and professional wrestlers. And those guys are professional wrestlers. Like everybody else, like I can take anything from a sports entertainer, I can take anything from an actor, or this or that. But when it comes to the actual in-ring aspect of it, I'm gonna model myself after the absolute best people that's ever done this because I want to be up there in that echelon. So like for our match, there wasn't any different preparation, there wasn't any different tape studying. It was just, okay, what's the story we want to tell? How do we do this and pay our ultimate respect to Owen? And how do we just go out there and have this match without compromising what FTR is? And I think that was the only goal we had.
And one more minute, and then I'll let you guys go.
Keep it rolling.
We also wanted this match. We wanted this match, when people thought of the Owen Hart tournament, we wanted them to think, oh yeah, Dax and Cash, that's what we wanted. Also, you know, to go on the point of the studying the tapes and stuff, you got to understand, a lot of guys who were incredible wrestlers made a lot of money from the end of the 90s up until right now. So there's a gap where we missed out, not just us, but like our generation of wrestlers missed out on the legends of wrestling. Think about this, Ole Anderson wrestled for 20 years, 20, 25 years, 30 years. And Eddie Graham, the same thing, but then he went to booking because they needed to make money for years. So they got to work with all these different generations of guys. Our generation didn't get that. So we didn't get that. I mean, rest in peace, not anything, but like the Eddie Guerreros, we didn't get to work with him, and Steve Austins and Rocks and stuff. We didn't get to work with them because they made so much money, so they were able to get out. The only way that we can learn now is by studying, because we can't work with them. I can't work with them and lock up with Steve Austin and say, okay, slow down, kid. I can't. So I have to watch and study him and say, okay, why does he slow down? Why do they do this? Why does Bret Hart take a headlock takeover here and they sit here for a second? Or why does Bret Hart sell? Why does, you know what I'm saying? So that's how we have to learn. Our generation has to learn. So if we accidentally take something from a match you see, our bad. But that's how we learn now. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.